Up next, pasta gets pushed aside for these beautiful little Italian dumplings. Tender as a cloud, gnocchi bathed in a luxurious wild mushroom sauce. I'm daydreaming. Oh, when I was on my honeymoon, where do I start? We just had a few deaths in the family, but we decided to go to France because we'd already bought the tickets and we thought we could just feign a little romance. On our last night, we arrived at this beautiful country inn in the center of France, and we were tired and we were sad, and we were greeted by this lovely proprietor who was wearing her rubber boots and had a big basket filled with wild mushrooms in her arms, and she just asked us if we'd like to come and eat dinner in her cozy kitchen with the other guests. I was so excited to be taken care of and eat those wild mushrooms. So I still make that dish. And today I'm going to make it over gnocchi, another comforting, pillow-like meal. Just go with it and just try to capture that feeling of togetherness and generosity. I've got a nice big pot of water boiling, and I'm going to make this mushroom ragu, starting with an onion. Just a rough chop. All of the ingredients are going to be chunky and rustic. And because we're suddenly in France, we are going to use some nice butter to saute the mushrooms. This hot pan, and some olive oil just to keep the butter from burning and to add a little flavor. Okay, swirl that around. Get the onions in. Okay, so we're just softening the onions till they're nice and translucent, and to them add some mushrooms. These button mushrooms are nice and small, so I've washed them and we're going to add them whole. So let's put these in. The secret to browning mushrooms is a nice hot pan. So turn up the heat, coat them in all of this yummy buttery oil and onion, and just let them go after, of course, a little seasoning, salt and pepper. Okay, so when wild mushrooms aren't in season, dried mushrooms are the answer. You just can buy them in little bags, and they need to be reconstituted. I have porcini mushroom here, and the water that you soak them in is now filled with flavor. So do not throw that away. Grab a nice big handful, squeeze out the juice, and just rough chop through the porcini. And add these to the mushrooms. Nice and high. Just thinking, if you were so inclined, a little bacon would also be yummy in here. Just go with it. Go with your cravings. Leave those to sizzle. And in the meantime, don't forget to salt the water. It should taste like the sea. So a nice, generous amount. Gnocchi are Italian potato dumplings, and they are a favorite of mine. They're really filling, really rustic. So good. Perfect for serving a crowd. Okay, tip them into the boiling water. Just give them a good stir. And when they're ready, they'll float to the surface of the pot. So what I'm going to do, I have this nice warm pan here. I'm going to add some olive oil to my cast iron pan. And when the gnocchi's ready, I'm going to crisp them up in the pan, and it's going to be delish. Okay, what's happening here with the mushrooms? The mushrooms are browning. It's just looking really woodsy and lovely in here. You know, all of this cooking liquid is gold. It's just filled with flavor. So as I said, don't get rid of it. Just add to the pan. And what we're doing here is deglazing. You can also deglaze with some sherry. Any kind of sweet cooking wine will do. This is adding tons of flavor to our mushroom ragu. Just let that bubble off. You don't have to worry about alcohol in situations like this because the alcohol just evaporates and all the good flavor is left behind. I'm going to quickly chop up some nice parsley to serve. Just rough and rustic. We could see the gnocchi rising to the top, which means it's ready. Let them just drain through the spoon, and we're going to finish them off in this noisy pan. Give the gnocchi just a little bit of help with the spoon. You don't want it to stick. Just want to leave them to get nice and crispy. Okay, while these crisp up, it's looking lovely. I'm going to add some cream. You could use creme fraiche or sour cream. And pepper. And I have the tiniest bit of dried thyme, which is so French. Sprinkle that on top. And if you have fresh, just use that. Use what you have. All right, to crisp these up a little bit, we can add some oil to the pan. Make sure the heat is nice and high. Toss it around. Gorgeous. The sauce over here needs to be turned down. Okay, we are serving a crowd here. So take out a nice generous platter. Tip the gnocchi on, and this is where you could be spooning on polenta or pasta, whatever you have. Take your beautiful sauce and just pour it over top. Parsley. And why not some Parmesan cheese, grated, using your vegetable peeler. And some pepper. Every time I make this dish, I think about that woman in France and her generous spirit and her cozy kitchen and a really strong ending to a difficult time. So yummy.
Warm, kind, restorative. That's what comfort food is all about. A taste that takes me back to that farmhouse in France and the madame with her basket of mushrooms. With all my heart, santé.